Alright y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are on day 9 of my Dead Palettes Walking, which is my 25-day long palette resurrection series. Long story short, I'm using a different palette for my collection every day of the month until Christmas, so that's how I'm avoiding buying new stuff this holiday season. Today I'm actually going to be resurrecting from my palette drawer the BH Cosmetics ItsMyRayeRaye palette. This palette, as you may know, is actually in two parts. It's the contour side and then the eyeshadow side. I'm only going to be using the eyeshadow side because, to be perfectly honest, I just don't like this side of the palette very much at all. There's a couple shades that I like. I like these two shades. That's about it. I mean, I like this one too, but I obviously don't use it as a highlight shade. It's just, for me, it's just like a giant eyeshadow. They are a little bit crumbly. They're just not my favorite. And these tones, I think, are just off in terms of contour. So, yeah, aside from that, I love this part of the palette. And I've been debating on cutting this bottom part off, except for it's just so freaking satisfying to do this. Like, fold it all up into one neat little package, which is the only reason that I have not cut off the bottom yet. But honestly, I might, because I think it would be a nice little compact palette to just have this part. And honestly, I think the size of these eyeshadows are really good, because let's be real, are you ever really going to use up the entire eyeshadow of those big pans and those big palettes? I think these are a very, very practical size for most people. I think you get a lot of shades in one little package. I think it's a great little palette. So let's go ahead and get started. So to start, I did prime my eye with a concealer and just set it with some translucent powder. And then I'm going to go straight into the red shade in the palette. And I'm going to pack that all over my lid with a dense synthetic fluffy brush so that I can blend it up into my crease a bit as well. It does a decent job packing it on, but I just want a uniform shade of red all over my lid and into my crease, and I'll shape it up a little bit after I get the next shade down. I'm going to be layering some shades in order to give it a little more depth and dimension and to make it like a little bit of a different color than what you see in the palette. So I use some setting spray to spray my brush down, and I wet it quite a bit, and then I'm going to go into the shade Passion here, and I'm going to pack that all over the top of the red. I'm just going to layer it on top without smearing it too much initially, because I don't want to mess up the red down there. So I'm packing it at first and then blending it as I need to, particularly around the edges. And I'm going to shape it just a little bit. It's not going to be a really big wing, but it is going to go barely into that crease right there, if you can see. Then I'm going to take this little fluffy brush. I'm going to go into the shade Friday, and I'm going to pack that before the shadow dries. I'm going to pack that right onto the outer corner just a little bit. I'm going to go into Black Beauty with a pencil brush, and I'm going to put that right next to my lash line. Now I'm going to have restraint here and not get too crazy with it, because this can get crazy pretty quickly. I want to make sure I don't take it past the red. I just want to take it right to the edge of the red and just put the tiniest little bit on. It's not going to look like I've put much on when my eye is closed, but once I open my eye, it's going to look like it's there. So then I'm going to go into Friday after I do my foundation, and I'm going to put that right on my lower lash line and follow the shape that I've made with my eyeshadow on the top. And I'm just going to blend that out just a tiny bit onto my lower lash line. And then I'm going to go into the shade Nudist in the palette, and I'm going to take that little fluffy brush again, and I'm just going to blend out what I put down on my lower lash line. Then back into Black Beauty with this pencil brush, and I'm going to follow that liner that I have on top. Well, not liner, but I'm going to follow that same little tiny wing that looks like nothing when my eye is closed. But then when my eye opens, you can see that it's just like a tiny wing. I'm just going to follow that on the bottom lash line. Then for my inner corner, I'm going to take Allison first off, and I'm taking this dry. I'm putting that on my inner corner, and I'm going to drag that about 1/3 of the way in on my lower lash line, just to brighten up my lower lash line and almost give like a really glittery appearance in that area. Then I'm going to go into Angel with the same brush, and I'm just going to go over top of that shade, but only on my inner corner. I'm not going to drag that one as far in as I dragged the other one. And this is what the look looks like before I put mascara on. I think it's kind of important to see what it looks like just so you can see where the placement of the shadows are. Because honestly, it doesn't look like a whole lot. It's just kind of subtle, but I really like the way it looks. For my brow bone, I'm going to go into Angel again, that white shade, that white shimmery shade. Put that on my brow bone. And there is the finished look with mascara and all. Alright y'all, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not already subscribed. And if you'd like to follow me on Instagram or support me on Patreon, I will leave both of those links down below, as well as the playlist for this entire series if you want to check that out as well. And if you want to continue to keep up with this series, I'll see you tomorrow. Later.